First of all, why did you want to get first of all, which one did you get? For the record.
So I got the Certified Quality Engineering certification. I got that one because I'm a quality engineer at Pfizer, so I thought that was the most applicable one for my job. Also, just thought it was interesting. I like using math and technical side of it. You know, quality is typically, a lot of people think it's more paperwork than technical thinking, and I'm a technical guy, so my degrees are all in pretty heavy engineering or physics, and so it was kind of an enjoyable thing to learn about and try to I don't know, connect technical aspects to the job. So
yep, absolutely. What are you kind of hoping that this is going to do for you getting the CQE?
Well, you know, I think it kind of opens up different doors for me in the future. I mean, I don't think this is going to be my last certification from ASQ, but I mean, but it's just going to open up, you know, doorways. It's going to give me a little bit more security job wise, I think. So that's a big reason. I mean, it's always good to like learn things for the job, but also, I mean, mainly a lot of the reason was looking more towards the future. So, you know, it's kind of it's a nice gut check just to be able to say you've gotten this. It's not an easy test. You know, it's a lot of, you know, it took most of my experience as a product developer, or, you know, I used those skills to answer a lot of the questions. So it's kind of a good certification just so other employers are happy or more comfortable with giving you more interviews or even the job.
Yeah, and I was definitely too one of the more prestigious ones there, and you had a nice little publicity off of this one, right? And
yeah,
shout out there for some management.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that, you know, it's it definitely can make people take notice, you know, and there's a lot of people who always wanted to get it that kept on putting it off, and now here it is that you have it, you know, so it's automatically a leg up on anybody who's actually looking at it that way. So
yeah, no, I was definitely freaking out about the exam for a while. I mean, I heard about it, you know, when I was living in Europe. I heard about it a little bit. I did some research about different certifications for quality engineers. That was the main one. I started researching like the amount of work it takes to do this test, and people were saying 120 hours of studying.
20 hours or 120 hours?
What's that?
Did you say 120 hours?
Yeah, like that was the advice. You know, I went on a lot of forums. I went on the actual website to kind of get some advice on how to prepare for this, because first thing I did was buy the book, and the book is pretty extensive, you know, and so like, it doesn't explain things too terribly well. It doesn't dive, it gives you kind of like a high overview, but it doesn't dive deeper and kind of explain things at a lower level, which is kind of what I needed. And yeah, so like it was kind of intimidating being able just seeing the amount of work it takes to take the exam, and yeah, I mean with the primer and everything, it definitely helps. So
nice. Yeah. So you were taking a prep course before, right? Before you took this one.
Yeah. So like I took two. One was like $50. I mean, it was just I don't know, a guy, you know, just reading out slides, and it was really time consuming. It was, you know, it was like 4 hours a night just listening to lectures, and it wasn't really helping. It was basically just reading the book, not really explaining everything, just going point. So, and then I also did some question bank pre-tests, I guess. I purchased some of those. Those were those helped me, I think, a lot prepare for, you know, being able to reference certain questions, be able to find answers. So that was more beneficial. And then, you know, I took your little course. So then that actually, you know, that helped me prepare, like, to take the test in general, what kind of, you know, what types of questions to expect, how to expect, just the general flow of the test. Broke it down into like how many minutes we have for specific question, and just good management or test management skills. So I used everything that you said. It really helped.
Good. Yeah. So before you took it, I think when were you planning to take the test before you took my course there?
So it was still, still on the same date. But I did push it. So I originally had it planned. I mean, in the last year, it was supposed to be around September. But then some things happened, and I got stressed out about the amount of work, where I kept seeing 120 hours of studying, and I just couldn't balance it in my life at that moment. So I had a lot of things going on, and there was just no way. And I'm just I'm like a single guy. I don't have a family. I don't have a that I have to take care of or anything like that. It's just me. And even then, I felt like I was under a lot of pressure to be able to learn the material within that time frame. So I kept pushing it off, and then one day I was like, okay, this April date, I have to take it no matter what happens. I'm going to take it. And that's when, I contacted you about it, because you already had the certification, and I just wanted to get some general advice from you. And that's when you told me about the program that you offered, yeah. And so that's kind of, how it kind of got pushed. It kind of got pushed like 7 or 8 months, I would say.
Do you think if you knew about my course back in September, you could have taken it? When do you think you could have taken it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think that me waiting would have like hindered me to pass the exam or something. If I knew about your course and like knew about, the other, certification content out there, I would have been able to confidently take the exam and probably pass. And so it was definitely a huge benefit for me. I mean, once I clicked that, once I clicked submit test, I was pretty confident with my answers in the test in general. So
Good. Yeah, I was talking to somebody else who took the course, and they were saying, something I didn't think about was they felt like it prevented them from overstudying.
yeah.
Which normally you're thinking, okay, well, that's not such a big deal. But in our case, it's like, we work full time, all of these different things. We have lives. We don't have 120 hours. So we got to be able to figure out how to do this, in a short amount of time, or else, like you said, actually 7 to 8 months is what I hear commonly. If they're taking other prep courses, that's what it usually is, because it takes them through step by step, and it takes too long, and it's not effective.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. And once I took your course, it was like kind of a wave of relief in a little way. Like I didn't have to spend the next month and a half after work, from 5 to whatever time at night, just studying. I was like, okay, wow, let's like take a step back, because it's intimidating. I mean, all I read online was just study. It's a hard exam, only 2/3 pass, kind of thing. So it was, and you want to pass it the first time. I mean, it's not a cheap test. So, I definitely felt a sense of relief. And also, like, I was studying previously too, and I almost felt like I was, like what you said, overstudying as well. So, yeah.
The method, some people think when they hear the method, that it's really it's like a shortcut, like in the sense that you're not really going to learn anything, along the way. Would you say going through the method, did you learn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, there's no way there's 180 questions on that test. You're gonna learn, at least 180 different things. So, no, I definitely feel like, not only that, but I know where to find stuff if I can't, if I don't know right away, which I think is, that's a big key. So, that's, it's being able to reference things in meetings, or, like have a task at your job, being able to go to the book and pull up a table or look up a value. So yeah, that's kind of how I want, that's kind of what I wanted from the exam as well. I mean, stuff you learn on the job, you'll be able to answer. Like a lot of those questions I was able to answer just on my own, on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it was just being able to find stuff and just seeing what's typical in the industry.
Yep. Yeah. It's something that I still use that book. You know, I know exactly where to find things and just go right to it. And it really even frames sort of your learning process too, because you kind of retain that structure. That's so then now every time you learn new information, you just slot it into the right category, and then
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to keep on going on.
Right. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: you're at Pfizer. How do you with this course? Do you think there's any reason? Let's say they qualify for whatever exam that they're taking, and they meet like whatever 3 years of experience with masters or 5 with a bachelor's, so on and so forth. Is there any reason that you think that somebody could not pass the test using this course?
No, I'm pretty sure everyone that has that type of experience with that educational level, you'll be able to pass if you take the course. So, I mean, it's pretty, like I said before, when I took the course, it was a wave of relief. It was like I felt like I was overthinking it, and I probably was. And so that made things a little bit less stressful for me, being able to concentrate on on the tasks that you basically provided. So it was good. I think that anyone would be able to pass it. Definitely.
Good. Yeah, the one of the reasons why most people don't pass is because they do go that method. And when I first got mine, I realized, so I said, wait a second, everybody's teaching me this to memorize this essentially.
Yeah.
And that's not real life. Real life, I can go to Google. I can go to the bookstore, the company thing. I can go to books, whatever it is, and I can go look things up. What I need is the ability to know where to find the information and have a general understanding of it so that I can take it deeper if I need to, and I can build upon concepts. And that's how this came about. I did it for myself for the 4 certifications first, and then I started telling other people about it, and it was working for them. Because at first I thought it might just work for me, but then I was actually part of the exam boards.
Yeah.
So being a part of that made me see like, wow, no, this is why this worked for me. So
yeah. I mean, I think it goes with any job. Everyone, has Google. There's so much information out there, and just knowing where to find it's the most important part now. It's not memorizing everything. It's being able to find things quickly.
Yep. Yeah, secretly, even with like things like GD&T, I still Google a symbol sometimes, like, what's that symbol again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Top features about the course. I heard a few things that you mentioned throughout, but like, what did you say is like, these are like the top reasons why you liked the course?
So the number one, I mean, just also what it dialed down into was, of course, like, just the reference material you mentioned. So that was really helpful. Being able to, being able to go through that, and that's just explaining a little bit more finer detail. Still have to read everything. I mean, you're not just going to start opening up and referencing things there, but I felt like that was just a much easier book to read in general for learning. It was just a lot easier. It wasn't putting me to sleep like the other CQE book would. So it was a little bit more applicable. Had nice examples and real life examples. Another key point was just good test taking methodology. So like, that was key for me as well. I have a master's. I've taken lots of exams, and I still failed to have good test taking practices. And that kind of reminded me. It was like, okay, let's have this methodological approach, scientific approach to take this test to make sure that I answer as many questions as I can correctly. And so that really helped. Let's see. Also, being able to reference, different equations easily. That was key. It was kind of a math heavy certification. So being able to pick up the right equation as quickly as possible and be able to reference this and plug and chug the math get the right answer, that was key, because those can take some time too. So, I still like, no, even with the referencing, I had 1 minute left on my exam when I clicked finish. So it was coming down to the wire, and if I didn't have those good references, I would have overtaken. Took too much time to take it. So
Nice. One of the things I heard you say a couple of times was that before, when you were taking the other course, you were pretty nervous about it, you were worried about it, and then after you took the course, you were preparing, you felt a little more confident, about the approach. What exactly would you say kind of gave you that confidence? Was it like the material of the course? What was the difference between the two?
I guess it was just like putting my mind at ease. I don't know how to, like, so like for the entire time I was prepping, I was over, like I said, I was just overthinking it, or just reading others people's experiences of how they failed 5 times in a row. My boss said he knows people that failed 5 or 6 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, well, that's right. I mean, that was like, I want to pass it the first time. It's a lot of work if you have to fail and then take it again. So for me, it was kind of like just a sense of, okay, like take a step back, a fresh look at this whole thing. Know that you're not going to probably memorize 1,000 pages, and so that's kind of was most comforting with your course. It kind of gave me some what is the word? It made me realize that I didn't have to spend so many hours a night studying. It was more of like, kind of made me a little bit more relaxed, take a step back, fresh look at this whole thing, and then prepare my new way. I mean, before I had like flashcards, I was trying to memorize and all that, and this new approach was definitely a lot easier. I don't know. Didn't take not as time consuming. So
Nice. Yeah. No, I heard you. I heard some like underlying themes that you were saying there. Like one, it sounded like this was realistic. Like this is realistic. I can do this, and it sounded like you could actually see the path. Like it made sense as to why it would work.
Yeah, absolutely. Lay down like the groundwork, and then and what I also liked was that it's not a very long course that you have. It's short, it's concise, it gives you the tools you need to pass. And I mean, I wasn't listening to you for days on end. It was quick, and just, this is what you need to do to pass, and if you do all these things, you probably will pass. And so that was nice too. Being able to. It wasn't dependent on just watching an instructor. It was more.
Yeah. Like the course is as long as the preparation.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of how it is. You take a course, you listen to an instructor, but you still have to study. And there, you just concentrate. Like, here are the tools. Now go study, or now go prep. And so.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want for this course, and like it isn't. These courses aren't cheap, materials, tests, so on and so forth. And companies tend to pay for them. A good amount of them do, not every single one. What would you say to like a company about what it means for you to be able to get the certification, and for them to pay for, like, why should they do that, and what kind of return do they get from it?
Yeah. Gotcha. So like, and everyone's different when it comes to this. So like for me, one of the biggest things that I can get out of a job, salary is nice, but I really want to learn on the job and be able to get like certifications and, professionally develop my career. And so, I was fortunate they did pay for the certification. So that was great. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you want people to stay around in a company and have them bring good work to your company for the long run, then I think it makes sense to provide, certifications, money towards their professional development. Kind of let them roam and let them create their own professional development pathway.
Yep. No, absolutely. I tell different people who even think about it, I say, look, it costs, let's say in the end, you end up spending $1,000 per employee for each test. between prep materials and the exam. Well, the cost to replace an employee is like $15,000 for the search itself. Not to mention, who knows how much you lose in terms of history and all,
Knowledge.
all the products, all of those different things. And, you like, for example, how many certifications are you thinking about getting?
Well, I think I'll probably get, my next one will be a Six Sigma black belt or green belt. I guess I should do it for, I don't know which one.
No, man, you go straight for the black belt.
Yeah, and I'll just do the black belt. And then probably I'll do the certified quality auditor one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so though, like, even along that whole pathway, now when you talk about building rapport with like your employee, now they would have got, like you in your case, you would have gotten 3 certifications, under there. So they have a nice head up on the competition, when these headhunters come for you, and they take you away from the job, it's like, hey, well, do they have these kind of programs,
Yeah.
So that's a amazing thing to have. And one thing that I thought about with this course, somebody else had mentioned this in the testimonial, was the fact that you can use it for multiple tests. So for your black belt, for what do you say, the quality auditor?
Yeah, quality auditor.
You can use it the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Yeah. Totally. Anything else you want to say, or anything that you might have thought about you want to comment on?
No, I think we kind of hit on all the main points I wanted to hit on. So great course. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in taking it. Like I said, like after one thing I didn't mention was when I found out about your course and I did it, it was a month before my exam. Well, before that, I was studying probably a month and a half before that. When I took your course, I stopped studying for 3 weeks. I didn't study at all. I really didn't do anything. I was just more, concentrating on other personal, my life, other things in my life. Well, last week came, I only studied probably, 16 to 24 hours that week, right before the exam. So that's another big plus. It reduced the amount of studying from what I was gonna do down to from 4 weeks to 1 week, and in that 1 week, it wasn't even the maximum I could do on those 7 days. Nice. So that was really nice. Yeah.
Good.